capital, Sadie Hawkins, reverse sugar daddy. Venture capital, it's one heck of a drug. Is money a drug? It sort of is a dopamine rush. It's a special form of money that offers validation. It's unique money, venture capital is. Let's delve into a couple of components that will help us make money while we tease VCs. Is this also like going on dates and getting money? Yes. What do 99% of men do? Spend money. Are these tactics and strategies that ladies can use also? Yes. Girls can use also? Yes. Am I going to be interacting with you in private one on one? No. What we will be doing is this, asking VCs for $300 or $800. You pick. Most people think getting venture capital's $15 million involves going from 0 to 15 mil. That's hilarious on 15 million levels, because what if a VC were to give you $1 per second? How much time would he have to spend with you? Because if she is giving you $1 billion per second, how many days would it take to receive $1 billion at $1 per second? $1 million, 11.7 days. $1 billion is 32 years. This is why there's an ocean of difference from $0 to $300, because it seems like 300 seconds is minutes away. It turns out when you're in and around $0, there is almost an infinite amount of gap, almost an infinite amount of work to do. There's almost an infinite amount of pain in getting to the first tranche, the first step. This is why venture capital is an incredible drug, because it no longer resembles money. It's more of a brain tease slash component of magical validating money. So you guys have heard that crypto is magical internet money. Where did they get that hilarious phrase from? Magical internet money, crypto. Because magical VC money is much more like a drug. Let's bullet point out within this second bullet point, and no worries if you just joined, you'll be quickly caught up in the next 90 seconds. And that is this: validation. Yes, VCs think you will be successful. Validation from a one-to-one coffee. Validation from come to our VC party that's listed over on that Oriental cowboy, that Asian cowboy's feed, Larry Chang. Come to that VC party, we're a co-sponsor. Validation. We're hosting a private dinner. It'd be great if you were to come speak about the 23 days of open AI. Validation of we're doing a 3-day conference, November 12 to 14. Please attend. Ultimate validation, which is we're going to decide to invest in your startup. Validation. They don't necessarily like your current idea, but the validation of, hey, if you just tweak these two things, I think we'd be in. They're not in. They're just being polite, but that's where you can confirm verbal validation with notes of the verbal validation. Notes from the verbal validation. The reason we're doing notes is words themselves are like farts in a sauna or flatulence in a hot tub. Only if you're perfectly downwind, encapsulated, is it going to be smelt. Because when the VC is dealt, you like how I missed the rhyme there, even though I could have slayed with that. We can capture the hot air. So when VCs talk to other VCs, they talk about blowing hot air back and forth at each other. When we are a founder, we hear these things that are funny and we get angry because we're not in on the joke. That's what this is stand-up comedy 100% serious that's also incredibly monetarily packed. Let me unpack what I just said, because venture capital, it's an incredible drug dealt by 6'3" C3PO looking mother scratchers. If you're not into Star Wars because you're 22 years old, this is Star Wars. It's a story about a hero, and this hero has two robots. One of them is C3PO, the other one is R2D2. This hero has a father who is Darth Vader. But when the Darth Vader used to be a little kid, he had the same two robots. The tall, shiny, pretty one, completely useless. The little one is the useful one. How does this pertain to venture capital? Once you see that almost all VCs are just tall, pretty, and sound good, now you understand that it's a protocol droid. Now we can improve at pattern repetition and pattern iteration, because now we can pick the robot that we want to be. Oh my God, this video is amazing. That's not scripted, by the way. This is why. One robot is C3PO. The other robot is R2D2. And for the ladies that are in the feed, putting on your tomboy brain for a moment is going to pay unicorn dividends, which is why I have a unicorn line, which is also why I'm batting 1,000 inside of Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, which is also my remixed shorts, because Shelby Sapp went to Venture Capital College at ASU, Center for Venture Development, Masters in Science, making millionaire at 23 years old. Don't be jelly. We should practice our selly. Do you see how, like, when other people hear these jokes of the jelly with the selly, people like, are you joking right now? I'm not joking. This is why. I present content semi-comedically, because it hurts people that see a hot, attractive 23-year-old blonde as a self-made future VC, a self-made person who does technical sales, because doing sales hard, doing technical very hard. Doing both together is possible. This is why these videos are step one. This is how we can practice with the eye towards becoming R2D2 as a VC. Not a joke, compression. So the reason that sometimes things come off funny is it's an interruption of what you expect. Because the old way before AI was C3PO as your VC. The new way is, not coincidentally, R2D2 as a robot helping you get $31 million in venture capital. Set aside money talk for a moment, because we can specifically go into and expand further how venture capital is a drug more so than a form of money. And then together, we can do something small, succinct, and specific as it relates to the last video that Shelby Sapp posted, which is incredibly emotional and reactionary. And that's sort of, this video is a reaction to it, but it's also a culmination of what can we do now with a little piece of junk, a stuffed animal, attending a conference that we're not invited to, but might be speaking at because we are beginning to self-start, taking other people's junk that they leave and turning it into something positive. That's the first step in realizing that we can also get pre-venture capital before we get true venture capital. Let's explore the 23 days of OpenAI, because remember, we're going from our C3PO to R2D2, because used to be VCs tall and pretty, now becoming robotic in its function. Did I just make a AI agent into a $31 million VC that you control? Yes. Is this available right now on Grok 3? Absolutely. That's the 23 days of OpenAI. Maybe you haven't studied it. Let me give you the VC drug version of the 23 days of OpenAI as it relates to two blondes. I'm a honorary blonde. You're welcome. Day 0, Sarah Loretta. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, engage. She created Lizzie Benson. Now, hey Larry, before you're talking about Shelby Sapp, what did she create? She told you what she created, which is why I clipped it in a remixed YouTube video. The clipping shows Shelby Sapp creating a wonderful, potent new VC force who travels the world, who closes deals, who speaks on huge stages. How and why? By crafting, curating, and forging. Those three are incredibly specific words that are unscripted. Crafted, curated, and forged. Are these things that we do easily as a student athlete? Yes. It's okay if you didn't play a professional sport in the methodology that I did, because we can be athletically studious as we watch this YouTube video and the prior YouTube video, which I'll just summarize for you, which is me, Larry Chang. Hola. If we're meeting on this first video, that's cool. Video summary, which is how to watch a YouTube video. Did you like the hezzy there? Did you like the hezzy there? Because you thought it was going to be some complicated thing that was difficult to remember. It is so simple that it was even difficult for me to remember. That's what makes that video, yet this video, so potent. Because it's the simplicity of these simple tasks. One, can you study and preview a book? Remember, what is artificial intelligence? It is just previewing. It is simply prompting. Can you pre-curate and pre-forge something that it will become forged? Is that Shelby Sapp, Sarah Loretta on day 0? Yes. Now, what happened on day 1? Day 1, we took an existing book and we added another 1 and then B. And do you see how if we called the 23 days of OpenAI book club, then VCs would be like, I don't see how book club, I don't see it. Like, do people pay for book club? How do you make money? This is how day 8 and day 7 did over 2 mil. Today is day 4. Let me repeat. Today, March 4, is day number 4 of the 23 days of OpenAI. If the word million intimidates you, just think of it as 11.7. If the word million intimidates you, just think about the number 6.15. Because words like billion are trigger emotionals. Because right out of Maxwell Maltz and neurolinguistic programming, day 34, which is when words trigger emotions, you're going to be corralled, cajoled, and enslaved by those emotional connections to the word billion. But if we're talking about 11.7, am I talking about the number of D1 baseball scholarships given out? Or 11.7 days, which is how many seconds, a million seconds is 11.7 days. 6.15, 32 X years is a billion seconds. When we realize that VC, sure, is a drug, but it turns out all the other versions and words for money, since I have 650 hashtags for money, also trigger an emotion. When we rewire ourselves to tap into the frequency of abundance, chapter 8, chapter 11 of Becoming Supernatural, we now are wrangling VCs while we wrangle females who are in the epiphany stage. How are you? How am I? I'm slightly dry-eyed, if I'm being honest. Solution: meibomian gland unclogging. How? By doing warm compression. Who taught me that? A hot girl. What did I teach her? Hashtag Ying Zhao Opto Oppo. Opto. Helping pro baseball players see better using optometry eye exercises. Is this similar to the monkey sock healing Achilles? Yes. Are these funny? They're kind of difficult to understand. What is on the other side of hearing something that is confusing or difficult to understand and then asking the question, hey, sock puppet Achilles healing sock using AI. Can you tell me more about it? Nobody, not nobody, few people ask that question, which is why having a stuffed animal as your logo gives you a little bit of time extension. Ditto Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, where if you're hot, then people are going to give you an extra 20 to 80 seconds. Why? Because, hey, at least you're easy on the eyes. Slide scale, depending on how C3PO you are, you're going to have to hone your R2D2 skills. Do you see how tightly compressed this information is? This is not done via editing. This is not done via a trillion takes and scripting on a teleprompter. This is from the universe conjured into you, winning at entrepreneurship, so that way we become better at venture capital. When a company gets lottery money, what happened before that is the VC was impressed at your ability to take things that are seemingly trash and turning it into monetary energy. Can you take a used textbook and, dare I say, land a speaking gig at Stanford University? Can you go to a baseball game with fewer than 500 people and do a 4-hour keynote at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill? Are you able to attend Texas Tech University with a uninvited 4-hour monologue on baseball and then get the athletic director and the football coach to come over and say, hey, Larry, what are your innovations? Can we eat breakfast together? Can you bring 2 trash bags to an event? Will you start with an 11-minute party? Are there people that you can invite to a group text so that way we study buddy this video? Venture capital, it's an incredible drug. What happens when we study the video, how to watch a YouTube video, while applying that video to this video? Now we've taken 2 free videos and parlayed, gambling pun intended, parlayed them with no risk into a slightly new behavior, parlayed into 6 external APIs. Parlay, application protocol interface, an API. Parlayed into an external API, which is us interacting with venture capital without consent of the venture firm. At 0, we want to just have one chef to get us over 0, because we currently have 10 things going on simultaneously in our minds. That's a video that you can study buddy and then remix called The 11 Chefs in the Kitchen of Your Mind. What happens when there's 11 chefs in the kitchen? What happens to the food? Not good. It ends up not good. Two chefs in the kitchen ruin it. What happens if there's 11 directors in a movie and everybody gets their input? The movie ends up like recent Star Wars. Is this in reference to C3PO being a VC? Absolutely yes. And if you're just joining this room now, let me catch you up with doing a recap, which is incredibly valuable. Why? Because drug of dopamine has been kind of over discussed, and we can go into a slightly more useful drug, venture capital, that is way less addictive, because now we're able to be free of money concerns, free of this. We are free 4 different ways, which is we are free from being confused because now we have structure. That's hashtag PRPRPI. We are now free from taking risks because the old way you might have seen things is, oh, no risk it, no biscuit, or go big or go home, or some form of being more risky. But then we don't take risk and then we get kind of stuck. So to bring these components together, we're doing risk mitigation, risk minimization, risk elimination. And then we can DJ up hashtag RMRMRE, which is risk mitigation, risk minimization, risk elimination, as we do hashtag PRPRPI, which is pattern recognition, which we delegate to a VC who's a non-employee co-founder. Put a pin in that. Pattern recognition, pattern repetition, pattern iteration. Hashtag PRPRPI. Good job staying so long and paying attention and focusing, because I'm about to drop a giant whopper. It's the teaser that I just had, which is non-employee co-founder. Hashtag non-employee co-founder. Connected with venture capital that you can extract is the connection of blog posts to videos to social media posts to thoughts in your head that are floating that we can now DJ in a same way that DJs used to not exist. They used to play one song, it'd stop, there'd be silence, and then they'd play another song. Now the DJ has the songs overlap. Non-employee co-founder is an overlap. What the component is that apply to money is this. What if a VC were to improve your business, raise the stock price before his money goes in? What if that were to happen? It turns out those are the only VCs that you want to talk to. Those are called Tier 1 AAA VCs. That's who is in my network. Do you have to pay to get into my network? No. You just need to learn how to read a book. Learn the specific methodology for how do we take this YouTube video and do a 2-person, 3-person, 5-person, 6-person, or 1-person study group. This is how to do it on every level. 1-person study group. Pen to paper, watching the video using PQRST, preview, question, read, summarize, test. Because remember, we're talking about non-employee co-founder. Is that a future book? You can write that future book for you to read if you know how to use Grok AI. That's us working together at the time limit, just in time. Enjoy this video, the rewatches, and I will see you on this exact same video as you rewatch it to succeed. Why are we reviewing? Because repetition is Shelby Sapp, 23-year-old millionaire who is in my recut video shorts. Is that how you originally found me? Cool. We can hang out, and now we can disconnect so that way you can rewatch 11 Chefs in the Kitchen of Your Mind and the flagship video before you understand non-employee co-founder, which is how to watch a YouTube video.